It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6". Shift together here from the D-line. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Glennon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Sean Lee's one of my favorite players, and I don't mind saying it because I love his versatility. I can move him inside at the linebacker position. I can move him outside. I can rush him off the edge, rush him up the middle. He can drop into pass coverage. In fact, his versatility was on display even in his high school days, where he was a big-time high school basketball player that had a chance to play in college as well.
Now Glennon to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
No gain on the play there, second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
They'll run it again with Sims. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This offensive unit today, they're going to need Dez.
A full combo plate. Size, speed, toughness, not to mention incredible aggressiveness going and getting the football.
The clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. On 2nd down, Elliott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
It's almost become a cliche that when you talk about Jason Pierre-Paul, you start with his athleticism at defensive end. But what I've observed during his career is not only that athleticism, but the craftiness that has grown year after year as he's learned more moves, how to take on blocks, how to get away from people, and still get the quarterback on the ground.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. It's a 3-point game here early. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Eluding the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people hear 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side. Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And now a 1st down following that long gain. And to give this time to the tailback. There he goes inside the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. 1st down, Prescott. That's caught by Butler over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested 1st half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Looking for Shep, thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Bryant with a catch right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. Prescott from the gun. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the 2nd quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley.
Both the Giants and Cowboys are having some trouble moving the ball through the air. The yardage totals are low, and that's helped play into what was a low-scoring first half. All right, let's roll those highlights. 3rd and 7. Completion will be made here to a wide-open man, and he'll end up at the 30-yard line before being tackled. Giants, though, would settle for just a field goal. Moving to late in the first quarter. Elliott's going to hit off the left side. He takes off and ends up picking up 21 yards on this run. They go on to kick a field goal to end the drive. Cowboys have it on 2nd and 5. The pass ends up being picked off. Riley's is the one who makes the pick, halting the offense's drive.
Okay, Larry, thank you. No touchdowns in our first half. What will we see in half number 2? Time to find out. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than we do. He must know something's up. Either he has trouble with his punter, right? He's worried about his defense. There's an explanation in there that we're going to ask for after the game, because in this situation, I wouldn't have done that in normal circumstances, but maybe he thought my best opportunity is with my offense.
Yeah, interesting. Back in their own territory. Now we'll see what transpires. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Jesse James, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are in for 6. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Eluding the pressure right. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Right side complete to Butler. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Bryant has it. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Yeah, he's got it. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Prescott. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Down this close to the goal line. First down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Bailey now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Hang on now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
third down. He'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be fourth down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Brad Wing now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over here at the 20. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored point,
it's caught inside the 25. A big play here for the Cowboys. 59 yards.
Let's face it, it's tough to defend guys just in regular time. But when they get extra time, when the guy maneuvers outside of the pocket, that's just almost unfair because now trying to stay with the receiver, very, very difficult to do, and a big play is often the result.
Flushed out right. His throw caught at about the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Looking to throw. Prescott. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
So now third and goal. Will the defense... And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for them.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. A big play there for the Giants. 57 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over, is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right? Whether you're catching it or...
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Sean Lee coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And his kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
Des Bryant now, he gears up to help lead this offense again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Room to run past midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Prescott to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Mike Glennon now and the rest of this offense heading back out. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs, the mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield to get your team in a position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score.
Here we go now. Green 30.
They'll look to throw. He's got a man complete. A gain of 32 that time. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to to throw. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a second down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. A dump off to Sims. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it third down. Glennon didn't have to do a lot of this in the early part of his career, but he's hurrying his guys right now. Back to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. He'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now Glennon. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
Elsewhere, they're into the fourth at FedEx Field. And the Ravens have wound up winning that football game. Joe Flacco, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get to field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock.
It's caught inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Now Prescott. Flush to his right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And he missed it. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Again, they run with Sims. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Fielded just inside the 20. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And what can Prescott do in the OT? It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's brought down. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times
and he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Dallas, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.